Hi, Jose. Kika? Did I say that right? Dor, Tony, Alicia. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hey, Camille. What's going on, everyone? I'm coming to you live here on a Friday afternoon here in Toronto. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Because I want to bring on a special guest, and her name is Vanessa Ortali. There she is. Hi, Vanessa. I'm going to have her join me in a dual screen situation because we are going to talk about business. Okay? From Boston. I love that you're here from Boston. What's up, Vinny? Coach Daryl. How's it going? Lorraine.
Hey, I'm here.
There's the beautiful. Oh, so can you guys not hear me? Oh, you know what?
Look at all the hearts. I love your followers. They're so sweet. Guys, I love hearts. This is the best.
I know. Throw up some more hearts. Lower back stretches, please, from Mexico. We're not actually going to go through some stretches today. We're going to talk a little bit more about business, guys.
We can try. You can, guide me through them. I put pants on, so I
I know. This is so funny. Now that we're on a, technology sort of culture, sometimes I'll wear a nice top and then I'll wear shorts or underwear. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'll be in my underwear.
Yeah.
I'm wearing pants, don't worry, guys.
Cool.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming in. This is so great. I'm introducing you, as I said, to my girl Vanessa. Everyone throw some more hearts. Throw some waves up. I'll try and wave back. I'll try and wave back as best I can. There's just a bunch of people coming in. And so I wanted to have Vanessa on here. So Vanessa is fucking awesome. And let me tell you why. Vanessa has founded the ladies community. And this is how I met her. I spoke at one of her events because my accountant, who is our mutual friend, Jamie, spoke at her event. And I was blown away. Not only is it a 5-minute walk away from where I live, which is so convenient here in Toronto, but I learned so many great things. I met lawyers, I met accountants, I met other aspiring entrepreneurs. And then Vanessa and I just clicked. And then she asked me to speak, and I've spoken at maybe three of your events. And I always meet the greatest women in the entire world. So I'm going to have Vanessa introduce herself and tell you in her own words what she does.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's always evolving. If you're an entrepreneur, you might relate to that. But I created theladiescommunity.com. And my main goal above all else, regardless of how much the business shifts and changes, is I want to provide women specifically. Some of our events men can come to, but men, I'm sure you know women. So I want to provide resources for women to connect deeper with themselves and then in turn others. Because as an entrepreneur or even if you're not, if you're just running a business or working for a business, you can only ever be as big as you are. So whatever you're creating externally always starts from within. And so I believe in helping people to connect to their truth and also realizing that everybody's truth is different. So coming at it from a relationship where there does not have to be judgment or jealousy, anger, and all that other crap. I wanted to create a community of women who could truly learn to be friends with one another. I'm not sure about you ladies, but I'm sure we've all had experiences women can be very mean. And we can be really mean to each other. Yeah. And so I wanted to create, men also need this. This is what I've heard. So when I figure out a way to help men, I will do that. But for the time being, as a woman, I was just so frustrated with what our friendships looked like with one another. And when I started to build my own business and I just wanted to create a different path for myself, I found myself very isolated from my friends and family and wanted other women to also have the courage to follow their own path and know that they weren't alone in this journey. So now I provide resources for women socially as well as professionally and mentally to help them become their best selves and truly step into their power, whatever that is for you.
And you know what? Vanessa is truly an expert and a master at that. She's been so helpful in connecting me with not only resources, but other people. You're very great at connecting other entrepreneurs or just people who you feel would really fit together and would be able to benefit and create a relationship. And so, I mean, Vanessa and I have known each other for what, a year now?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe more.
A year and
More.
a half.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
A year and a half. And we connected really well, and not only as entrepreneurs, but women, but also as human beings. And I feel like we have a very similar philosophy of life, and it's to be genuine and help others and be kind. I feel like you have a very kind spirit, and I like to think, I'm a kind person as well.
You are, yeah.
And so how we operate our businesses is we hustle hard. Like, don't get us wrong, we are hardworking women, and we hustle hard, but we also try to be as genuine as possible. And we talked about, we just did a live on her Facebook page, and we were talking about being authentic but not pushy and aggressive. And we're not those types of people. And we find, like you mentioned, you want people to tap into their truth, and we're here to try and help you with that. So Vanessa is going to be hosting a workshop a day before my business mastermind, and she's going to be hosting a workshop on mindset. And this is important. This is actually, it worked out perfectly, Vanessa, because I need people to get into the mindset first before we tackle some of the business tactics. So why don't you talk about mindset and why that's so important, and why you decided to do a workshop on it?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do a free workshop first before November 2nd. So if you want to check me out, you want to know what my stuff is about, you can come for free. I know I gave the link to Sarah, so she's going to post it in her story so you can see.
I did already.
Yeah, okay, awesome. But
Quick.
Then on November 2nd, I'm going to do a full mindset workshop. And the reason I think this is so important is because of what I said earlier. If you're going to go off and do your own thing, or you just aren't happy like in your life, it starts with this. Like, we live in a society where we are always looking for our happiness outside of ourselves. And until we start to build our own awareness of what is going on in our mind, we will have no power, and we are just constantly living in fear, insecurity, anxiety. And myself, you've shared this, or you've had experiences. I lived with so much insecurity, anxiety, overwhelm, stress most of my life, and we still feel those things, but now I have the tools to get through them, and they don't hold me back for nearly as long. Like, I don't know that it ever fully goes away. We just learn to recognize it faster and to implement tools to get over it. And so when go ahead. I get so passionate about this. I could talk forever.
I mean, you're amping me up, because that's exactly what I try to live my life by and preach. And I feel like you and I, even just when we're working on our own things and we stay in each other's orbit, I'm inspired by you, and I hope you're inspired by the work I'm doing. And I'm always like, when I talk to Camille, is Camille on this? I'm always like, Vanessa's just such a hustler, and it inspires me to realize, yes, we do have a voice and we have something to say, and whoever latches on to our message will latch on. And that's a mindset that, as an entrepreneur, you need to have, because you're not going to please everyone. You can't possibly please everyone. So being strong in that sense, where you're confident in what you offer and what you do, and not to be insulted or offended if people don't believe in your message. And so there's that fortitude and inner strength, and you can continue. And I want you to talk about, like, what you're going to cover at your workshop and your webinar.
Yeah. So I'm going to go on my webinar. I've developed 10 steps so that you can have peace, clarity, and manage your emotions. So I find the biggest thing that helped me, and when I was going through my mindset journey, is I didn't realize how often I was having negative thoughts and how much my emotions were actually holding me back. So I'm going to teach you how to increase your awareness, so you know that it's actually happening and you're not living in complete, not denial, but like you just don't know what's going on in your mind. So I'm going to teach you how to be more aware, and then I'm going to give you my 10 steps so that when you are aware and you notice you're having a negative thought, anxiety, overwhelm, I'm going to give you those 10 steps to alleviate those feelings and allow you to move forward in your life so that you can be your authentic self, your truest self. And so it doesn't hold you back, because what you need to know is the world needs you in your fullest form. You were given so many gifts that the world needs to see, and you are here to help other people. And if you're still living in your fear and anxiety and overwhelm, you cannot do that.
You can't.
And so Sarah and I talked about this before, and we mentioned it on my live on the ladies community, but we want to build huge businesses, $1 million businesses. And I say that because we shouldn't be scared of money. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to help people. So we want to help you help people. And the more that we can do that, and starting with mindset, once you start to heal your core, you can truly start to just radiate yourself and continue to help others. So the healing starts from you first, instead of looking outward, so that you can do the work and make the change in the world.
Yeah, and I want to lean into that a little bit more. So and I'm sure you've encountered this with a lot of the entrepreneurs you work with, one of the things is that holds them back are their self-limiting beliefs. And then these inner insecurities, they operate from that space.
Yeah.
And you can feel that energetically. So if someone walks into the room, you can immediately tell if you like their vibe, they're putting off a bad vibe, or if their energy is really bad. So the energy is palpable in the sense that you can sense what type of person they are. And I'm not saying that you'll always be 100% correct, but sometimes you do have to go with your gut. And so when you become an entrepreneur, you need to have that self-awareness to understand when are you being confident, and what spaces do you need to be confident, and what is holding you back from being confident. Yeah. And you have to embrace these insecurities. So I love that you had placed that you can't fully eradicate insecurities because they're there, they're deep, they've been there for maybe years and maybe instilled since you were a child. And so you need to develop, as you said, those tools to cope. So, I mean, you had asked, like, if I've ever, dealt with insecurities, and, of course I have. When I was a little girl, I was bullied in school. And, you wouldn't, maybe not many people would say, really, it doesn't seem like it, but I was 100% bullied, and I decided to make a choice. Will I let that affect me negatively, or am I going to learn from this experience?
Yeah.
And when you go into that mindset talk with Vanessa, she's going to teach you how to identify what is holding you back, and then to help you acknowledge it, and then what you can do to overcome it, or what other words that you decide.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the full day workshop, we're just going to take that one step further, because obviously in the webinar, it's an hour. I'm going to teach you the skills, and then you're off to do it on your own. So then on the full day workshop, it's an 8:30 to 5:30. We're going to dive into the different areas of your life. How do you, first, obviously, we're going to start with our relationships. Then we're going to go into our romantic relationships. And I actually separated them because they're different, even though they're the same.
Yep.
So when we're creating a partnership, we treat it a little bit differently. And so I'm going to teach you how to create the dream relationship that you've been looking for through mindset, because I'll tell you later, this is like a full-on story, but what I've been able to create in my own romantic relationship through a mindset shift has been incredible. And then we're going to go into career and self. And so we're going to implement all of those strategies into the different areas of your life and really dive deep so that you can see those shifts in your life that you need.
Oh my God. You know what, Vanessa, we should have got together before,
right?
Because then we could have done this two-parter where it's like Vanessa's Saturday, and then the full-on business is going to be Sunday. Well, it's okay. We'll do it in the future.
It's okay. We're doing it now. We'll do it again. This isn't our first workshop.
No, so it's not.
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad you tapped into that, because this is a hugely passionate topic for me, because, one of the things not resent's a strong word, but one of the things that I don't agree with is when people come to me and go like, well, and I'm going to be completely candid. People like, well, you built your Instagram or you built your following because you're a pretty girl. And I said, well, okay, first of all, pretty doesn't have anything to do, and I'm not going to be completely naive. Yes, like we live in a world where it's all about aesthetics. You're on Instagram and everyone's filtering, everyone's photoshopping. But you can make yourself look presentable. You can exude confidence. So I know so many pretty people who don't have that confidence, and yet they don't exude, or they don't attract that energy.
Yeah.
So what I think is really important is to set that mindset and exude that confidence first, and that will help make you attractive.
Yeah.
Maybe not like Hollywood aesthetically attractive, but attractive as a human being. And you don't have to be focused on appearance all the time. You have to figure out, how do you want to present yourself, and then attract that demographic by how you present yourself. And then if you do good work, that alone will attract people. So I want you guys to hop on Vanessa's free webinar that talks about mindset. And I already did a business webinar on Monday, and I sent out the replay. So if you haven't gotten it, just send us an email. And then I want you guys to come meet us in person. Come to Vanessa's Mindset workshop. Mindset.
I like it. Mind shop.
I like it too. Mindset workshop, November 2nd. Is it downtown?
It is in Toronto. Yeah.
It's in Toronto.
It's at the Thompson.
The Thompson.
Yeah.
And then my business workshop the next day is, you can walk in 20 minutes. It's at SWAT Health on the Harbor Front. So, oh gosh, this is so exciting. I'm really excited for us.
I know, right? It's so fun. I'm just, honestly, the more I coach and train, and maybe you can say the same, it's so fulfilling in the sense that we're just helping other people evolve and to see their breakthroughs. Like when we get messages from people saying like, oh my God, your tips and your tools. I just got a message this week from, I'm going to teach you these on the free webinar, my 10 steps. But I have a one-on-one client who literally just started her 10 steps a week ago and already messaged me. And she's like, for the first time, I've been able to stop myself going in a spiral, and was able to alleviate that stress and overwhelm and like pull myself out.
That's so great. So cool. And I believe it, because Vanessa, like you truly, when we have our conversations, I can tell your brain is thinking, how can I help Sarah? How can I and I can see it. So I'm really excited for you. So I want you guys to follow Vanessa. I have already tagged her, but I'll do it again.
So fun.
And is there, other than the webinar, is there anything for our global audience? Because not everyone's in Toronto and can get here for your in-person workshop. Is there an online thing?
Anyone global can do the webinar.
Okay.
Yeah. So anywhere, join the webinar. And you know what? Honestly, even if you can't come to the webinar, register anyways, because then I can send you the replay as well as sending you more information when we have more mindset stuff. So I really want to build a course and just modules to help you with those different steps. And I'm sure I'll do more modules and more online stuff because the ladies community is global also. So don't want to leave anyone out.
Okay, great. And I'm going to be on one of your webinars in 2020. We just have to figure out a date. So stay tuned and follow both of us, guys.
Awesome. Thanks
I hope that was helpful.
For having me. Yeah, thank you. And thanks everyone for watching. It's so fun seeing you here, I'm sending you hearts. But yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us and share. And thanks, Sarah, for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Have a beautiful weekend. If you're Canadian, happy Thanksgiving.
Right. Yes. I'm in the States and I forgot it was Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I'm a Canadian, So there you go.
Yeah, you travel too much.
Okay. I know.
All right, bye guys.
But it's fun.
Bye, Vanessa.
Yeah.